Hey, hi everyone. I hope you are doing well. So my name's Michelle Townsend, and and welcome. So if you're watching this on a Facebook group, then hello to you. Please consider joining the family and hitting that subscribe button down here and hitting the bell so you can get notified when the next video is out. I do content around like autism and lifestyle. And I'm also going to be now doing some content around coaching and mindset stuff, and it's all going to be very much say relevant to this channel. So it's going to be about like autism and stuff like that. But today we are going to be talking about having a speech impairment that had a huge impact, say, on my life, and how I have overcome, the problems, the struggles, and that of having a speech impairment, and why I always say I had and not have a speech impairment. The reason I say I had is that's the past, and I'm in the present now, and I don't have a speech impairment. I may not be able to sometimes pronounce kind of words, but then again, I know how to cope with that. I've got like strategies in place. I've got ways of just moving things around. So today we are going to be learning all about that, and this is my kind of like inspiring like a story, as a few people have told me it's inspiring. So when I was little, I had a speech impairment of probably from the age of like 3, and I won't go into great detail over but one, I did have speech therapy, and I learned a lot from that. But today I'm going to talk to you just briefly about what it is like having a communication, I say differently. I was going to say speech impairment. That's when I went, oh, but having a communication, I say differently. Whether that's a speech delay, a speech impairment, a stutter, whether your child has autism or a learning disability, which they have a communication, I say differently as well. What people don't talk about is how they actually feel when they have the communication difficulties. And I think sometimes this is because, and for me, just going back to the past can be, it's kind of a bit spooky in ways to think on how I did think and what I felt inside. And it's quite sad in a way because I couldn't communicate how I felt. Well, I could by showing emotions, but that was one way I could actually communicate to my parents and people. But then you get, oh, well, she's oversensitive and stuff like that. So let's talk about that. I think because then you will get a understanding of what it may be like for a person with a communication, I say differently, whatever disability they do have, and also the superpower that we have as well. Now I am dyslexic. I didn't find out. Well, I knew that I was dyslexic, but I didn't have my diagnosis until I was 29 years old. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the speech impairment and how it made me feel, and how I've kind of used that, having a speech impairment and being like a dyslexic to my advantage. And it's kind of brought me to coaching as well. So I went to a mainstream school, everything was okay up until the age of like maybe 7 or 8 years old. Um, and my last year was hell because the teacher was, no, not, I say not very good. She didn't believe in me. She thought I was lazy. I had speech therapy from the age of 5 to 9. There, I used to go with my mum to have, I think, 1 hour speech therapy a week. My just to kind of tell you about that and how I actually felt. Okay, so I'm a little girl. The world around me is so big. No, and my mum is my world, and my dad, and that they understand me. They get me. But I want to like express on how I felt in here. Okay, so I always felt alone. It was a lonely place to be. Okay, because I had all my thoughts and that inside my head. And every time I wanted to speak, my stutter would really get in my way. Um, I used to speak like this, uh. And see, I explain to people that with a speech impairment, with a stutter, um, it feels like, so you have some words in your head, like a sentence or something, yeah? And then it needs to go down here and like out. So you know what to say, but you just can't get it out. And it's so frustrating. Um, what I learned by the speech therapist when I was a bit older was that my shoulders used to go up and it used to get tense. Okay, I can't speak like that now. My shoulders are always relaxed. And what would happen, I would get so nervous that I would work myself up to saying this like 1 or 2 words which I knew was so difficult, I say, for me, that it just wouldn't come out. And I used to kind of like agree with people, yeah, okay, even if I wasn't happy, and it made me feel so like, sad and alone. So how did I overcome it? Lots of speech therapy. I went to a special needs like ESL, which many people don't know. For years I was ashamed about saying that, but I'm not now because it made me the person I am today. And I used to help like my peers and that. Once I went to that place, I don't know, like something magic happened because I was having more speech, like I say, therapy, because the teachers actually wanted to listen to me. I had time to speak. So having that time would be really good. Sometimes I would be told to slow down my speech because I used to speak really fast sometimes, especially when I was older, to get words out because I didn't want to think too much, because if I'd done that, guess what? They just wouldn't come out. So now I can use, as a variance of, a different part. So I can like, say, do videos and like this, say just off the cuff. Okay. Now, because I'm dyslexic, I know that if I had some notes, some bullet points here, I would be looking over and thought, right, how do I say all about this? So to me, working like this is much more better. When I was younger, I hated plays. Was it the Christmas play? I just would not do. I think, was it my first year I was on stage, but after that, no way. I wanted nothing to do with it. So I was always in the music, say like element of it. They're always doing music and that. I did enjoy it. No. But on stage, no way. Because that would mean that people would be looking at me, and I always I felt as a judge. And I knew, and my teachers told me that no, they are looking at you like on stage because they are watching a performance and that they are not judging you. But in my head, I was like, nah, no. So after that, I got to like my teens, and really something changed. When I was about 15, I started to do some voluntary work, working with kids with disabilities and that. Even though I went to a school for kids with disabilities, but this was doing sports, and I was really into sports. Sports changed my life. Like, um, uh, I was so good at tennis and badminton and stuff like that when I was younger. I loved playing everything, yeah, even running and stuff like that. So I got into sports coaching on a one-to-one say basis, and then when I was about 16 or 17 and 18, I began to like a session lead. And this is, what was it? You would be coaching a whole group of, what was it, volunteers and people, kids and young people with, say, disabilities and that. And I used to love that. I'd done it for many, many years. And what that really brought out of me, because when I first, like, I say, done it, I was I say, nervous. I mean, really, really nervous. But it did bring out a lot. I remember one of the main kind of lead coaches said to me, "You can do anything you want, Michelle, as long as you put your mind to it. Don't allow people to fill your head with things that you can't do. Yeah, listen to your heart and just do what you feel that you want to do." So like age like at 15, I knew I wanted to work with kids with disabilities, and that's what I've been doing for the whole of my life. I've been working with the most wonderful kids and young people and like adults with autism, with learning disabilities, with physical disabilities and that, and I absolutely love doing it. And the reason I'm so good at it is because I can see a lot within them, and people judge people with, say, disabilities and now, oh well, they can't do this, they can't do that, blah blah blah. But if you take a second or two to really see that person, now when kids are very young, it's a little bit harder, because when I was 5 years old, it was kind of, I was all over the place and stuff. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was very shy. But my daughter is like that, and she doesn't get that from me. My daughter is 5 years old. She's a chatterbox. She knows what she wants. She's probably going to be a very good like a leader at some point, I say, in her life, because she knows the direction that she wants to go in. My son has autism, but he knows what he wants. He will get upset like if he doesn't get his own way, and we bow to him. No, no, we don't. But the point here is that with communication, it can come in all forms. So it can verbal and non-verbal. Most of the time when I was very young, I would like either show my parents or show people what I meant. And even when I was coaching sports, I didn't really use my voice that much. I did to project what I wanted, like the other coaches to do, but a lot of the time when it was I say one-to-one, we would have a little bit of conversation, but not a huge amount of verbal communication, because we can learn a lot, say, from my body language and that. And I learned that like as time was going on, and I could tell you all kinds of things about job interviews and stuff like that. When I was 20, I went into hospital because I had a blocked bowel. Um, and basically, I had two major operations. I got over that because of this, my mindset. And then I got into personal development and stuff like that. I've always been a driven person. I've always known what I wanted from a very young age. I was told to, push trolleys and stuff. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That one person, that one, lead coach, what he said to me, no, was amazing. And so I do think that, what was it? Coaches, whether it's a sports coach, whether it's life coaching, mindset coaching, and that, what's it can really help people. I mean, I didn't even know about life coaching yet until 2003 when I was 23 years old, and that, and and I've read a lot of it's funny because I'm dyslexic. Just going back when I was like a 15 years old, I noticed that I was more able than like my peers. And what happened was that I went to the library and I got some like I say books. I wanted to prove to myself that I was more capable and stuff. And I read like books on like autism and stuff. The words I didn't know, I would ask my mum and dad, and they would tell me. And then I got a book on like GCSEs in say maths and that, and I used to do that at home. I didn't have to. There was no GCSEs like in my sort of special needs. You see, I say that with sarcasm because now they actually has improved, and the school which I went to, they do like proper GCSEs and and like I don't think they do A levels, but they take students who have got emotional and I say difficulties, and they are much more better than they was in like the 90s and that. And my kind of like I think is now with working, I still work with young people, and I work with like I say like adults and parents, and that is to really get them to understand like the individuals, just because it's a label autism or a speech impairment or something like Downs or something, doesn't mean that that person is all of that. So like I'm dyslexic as well, yeah. So one day, I've always said this and it will happen, I've said many times I'm going to write a book. Never has happened. Now, with all the videos I've kind of done in my life, it will become, was it, a book at some stage. I will get a ghostwriter and it will become a book. What I'm trying to say here is, to any parents or anyone really, is that if you have a child with a disability, yeah, don't look at what they can't do, but look at what they can do, okay? Because this world is it's mean, yeah, and that 20 20 years ago when I was 21 and I had a birthday party and all my friends from this charity came with all kinds of disabilities, and they was the highlight was it of my 21st birthday party. And I remember they had no fears of dancing, they didn't need drink, they didn't need anything, yeah, they just got up and they got dancing, and it was the best 21st as a birthday party because they was there. Um, and I got many stories as a like that. So I hope you have enjoyed this kind of video, but you've also taken away something, at least one thing or two things. Let me know in the comments if you have. I know it's a long video, and thank you for watching and stuff. I didn't know whether to make a long video or just a short video, but I just thought, you know what, let's make this a truthful video, because having a disability is hard work. Yeah, was it? You got to fight and fight and fight, and when you are a parent of a child with a disability, yeah, you have to fight and fight and fight. And it's I want to do another video on what the professionals they don't tell you, and how you can get over that, and the mindset of being a parent with a child with a disability. Because my own family found it really kind of difficult, I say difficult even, to kind of cope with the whole speech impairment thing, but they did it. And how I came over my speech impairment was people believing in me, my mum, my dad, my auntie, and other people finding something that I was really good at. Yeah, so you find something that you're really good at, yeah, and you do it. There's many people who are very good at stuff, but then they are told, oh, well, you can't do that. Well, I say, no, you can do it. If you're very good at art or craft or doing something, yeah, and you want to do it, you should be able to do it. And anyway, thank you very much for watching, and please do leave a comment, and if you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon in the next video, which is up to you guys. What you want me to talk about, I will. I love doing videos. I think they are a great way for me to express myself, and that but also to give you, or say whether you are a parent or a coach, a different kind of insights. And I hope this video has actually done that. So remember, having a speech impairment or a communication difficulty, people will be thinking lots and lots of thoughts and feelings inside here, and if they are autistic, they may not understand those feelings, and or even without actually, because I know I did, and that's a whole different video in itself. But the thought processes and how that can be very complicated to come out of your mouth. We don't speak about it an awful lot, but some people are very good at writing, and that there's many autistic people who write books and stuff who are non-verbal, or they choose not to speak a lot. And I think it's important to kind of go, okay, these people are very, very cool, and but if you are a parent as well, just be patient, because I think that's what kids they need you to be patient. And you're probably thinking, well, I am patient, how patient do I need to be? And it's that thing of, well, the processing. And even, I mean, I've been speaking to someone once, and it's taking them about half an hour to say one thing to me. But do you know what? That one thing, half an hour, absolutely perfect. They said something to me that they really wanted to, and it was important. So make sure that you listen, to not just the verbal, not just the sounds and the words and that, but also non-verbal as well. All right then, guys, I've spoken enough. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.